So there are certain jobs that happen within a job that you need to learn. And the reason why you need to learn to do these jobs within a job is because it helps you to manage yourself and get your act together, right? You need to get your act together. That's what needs to happen. So this is going to assist you with that, right? Guys, if you know how to manage yourself and you know how to implement that level of independence, the chances of you getting a job promotion, they go up, right? Akunamuntu obhora njengaye person that you constantly have to manage. Constantly have to manage, constantly have to follow up with, constantly have to, like, guys, there's nothing that is as stressful as that. Constantly having to manage a person, I'm telling you guys, it's one of the worst things. And if I constantly have to manage you, chances of me promoting you are low. Very, very, very low. It's not going to happen. I'm looking for people that are independent. If I'm a director of a company, I'm looking for people that are independent. People that know how to manage themselves, right? People that know where their work is, how far they are with their work. Because if I'm going to take you up to directorship position, those are the traits and qualities that are required for an executive. You need to be able to manage yourself. So you must get your stuff together. Get yourself, get your act together, right? So these 4 jobs, they actually exist within almost every job, right? And for example, administration is a job on its own, right? And it can be a position within a company. Project management is a job. It can be a position within a company. Customer care is a job. Same thing with monitoring and evaluation. However, if you are a chartered accountant, you need to master these 4 jobs within your job. And that's what I'm going to be telling you guys about. If you are in IT, you need to master these jobs within your job, right? If you're in project management, you need to master the other 3. If you're in administration, you need to master the other 3. So these jobs, they exist within your job. If you're in logistics, these jobs are within your job, right? And this is how you get your act together. And the first one, guys, is I don't care what position you're in. You need to master your administration. Now, I was the worst when it comes to administration. And I've even confessed to you guys as the Fetch Army. I told you I was the worst when it comes to administration. But it wasn't as worse as contracts disappear on my desk, right? Because I was responsible for contracts and all of that, right? Contracts disappear, spreadsheets, they disappear. When I'm talking about being bad with admin, I'm not talking about that bad. So I mastered a certain level of administration. And that makes you an admirable candidate to be promoted and move up. Because every time they ask you for something, you are able to answer, right? Every time they're looking for a specific document, it does not take you 6 hours to send it because you have to look for it, right? Your documents are signed where they're supposed to be signed. They are filed where they are supposed to be filed instead of stacks of papers on your desk. Guys, please go check your desks. You guys have, these paper trays. Some of you guys. I'm a paper tray when ahlang. And when somebody comes and asks you for important information for an important meeting, whether it's your senior or it's a director, now you take 3 hours to provide the document. Or now you forgot how you saved it, right? And you don't know the one that you saved, is it the latest one? Is it not the latest one? Guys, if you become like that, that means you must constantly be managed. So I don't care if you're in logistics. I don't care if you're a chartered accountant. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're a pilot. You need to at least be 50% when it comes to your administration. At least be 50% when it comes to that. Your company can make or break it. Exactly. If your admin ain't straight, I'm telling you, if your admin ain't straight, you don't have your act together. Edward, I suspected you are one of those with funny desks. So, Edward, I don't blame you. My desk was similar, right? And my desktop as well on my laptop. If I open my laptop now and share the screen with you, you will see it takes me a little bit of time to get into it, but I wasn't horrible. I wasn't completely horrible. I would never lose a contract, or I would never send you a contract, but it's the wrong attachment. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that it was taking me a little bit of time to get my administration right. Still is. You understand? Prop admin has worked wonders when it comes to my year-end financial audit. There you go, be wise, right? Imagine if they can't imagine what a risk it is, right? When I be wise. If at the end of the financial year, audit takes place and the documents that you are submitting, you are not even sure if they are the correct ones. Imagine what a risk that is for the company. So guys, you need to have an average I'm not saying be the best admin in the planet, but have average skills when it comes to administration. And abantu bafana nobo Edward, sometimes I know Edward, people like me and you, there's method to our madness. So even that one is okay. There's some method to our madness. When you look at our desk and you think it's ketlakansuke, you know, but some of us can actually see what's going on. Fifth, hey, it's Tammy. Thank you for coming through. I see you. Thank you for coming through. So guys, administration in Yancel. Work on it a little bit, right? Start filing certain things, start referencing certain documents. Just make sure that when your senior comes to you and they're looking for something for an urgent meeting, at least, guys, you can provide it within 30 minutes. Not a whole hour of comparing this file and that one. Did I rename it correctly? Is this the one that is signed? Is this the one that is not signed? Guys, if you become like that, I'm telling you, you are a rookie in the company. You are just that one person that people don't even want to go to ask for stuff, right? So you don't make good alliances within the company. If you don't have good alliances within the workplace, forget it. Forget it. 30 is long. Exactly. Below 30 minutes is even long. 30 minutes even long, guys. If I ask you for a document, come on now. It shouldn't take that long. You should be able to pull it out, right? Even if you have your own method of administration, guys, it does not have to be as per national standards. You understand? But I can't ask you for something, then it takes you 30 minutes for you to give it to me. Or you send it and then you send me an email afterwards and you're like, sorry, Sbu, that is not the correct one. Right? Kindly find attach the correct one. Now, I've already sent that one. So now I must go back to the client and tell the client to ignore that one. And it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. It's too much, right? So, guys, let's work on at least having average administrative skills, at least. So that is a job within your job. And like I said, I don't care what profession you're in, you need to have a certain level of this, right? Guys, number 2 is my favorite one. Okay, number 2 is my favorite one. All right, guys, project management. Please learn how to project manage yourself and how to project manage your life. Please, guys, right? One of my biggest flexes, even today still, is that you will never ask me about a project and I will never be able to tell you where it is. That is my biggest flex as a director right now. When I walk into meetings, I don't have pen, I don't have paper, I don't have a tablet. Everybody just opens up their tablet when we get into Exco and all of that. I don't even have a tablet with me. You can ask me right now where a specific project is. I will tell you exactly where that project is. And it's always impressive when you have somebody like that who can manage their projects, right? Not that now the client is complaining. And then only now when we ask you questions, you start checking through the project and then you can see that it's actually the fault of the company that the client is complaining. That is costing us lawsuits. And it's going to put us on Hello Peter. And you're going to be responsible for us being on Hello Peter. Right? So if you don't know how to project manage yourself, you don't know how to project manage your life, like how far are you with a particular client? You can put it on a piece of paper, you can use ClickUp, you can use Bitrix24, whatever you're comfortable with. Right? But constantly know how far you are with the client. If the client is calling and they have an inquiry, right? If you guys don't have an official system at work where you can put all of those things, make sure that whatever you are writing in your diary makes sense. Guys, I've sat with people in a meeting, and then I would ask them, and these people are managers, people that are sitting in Menko, and I'd ask them, how far are we with this particular project with maybe government or whatever? A person will page through that book back to front and go back in the middle. All you hear is during the team's meeting. A person is just paging, and then can you give me 5 minutes? I just need to check on something. Maybe Tony can make his contributions right now, and then I will jump back in again. Now umuntu sekahlanganisa agenda yam. Now I must skip from this person to the other person so that that other person can speak. And while that other person is speaking, now this one has found the information that they need to submit. Now I have to cut this one off, and then this one has to come in because they found the information that they've been looking. Guys, come on now. Really? You're trying to move up the corporate ladder. You can't even project manage your thinking. You can't even project manage the things that you are doing. So project management, guys, is a very important skill. I was speaking at a TVET college last year, and I was saying to graduates, the first thing that I want you to learn is how to project manage yourself. I'm telling you, it will save you a lot. Apart from administration, which is also quite big, please project manage yourself. Don't come into a meeting and we're asking you how far you are with the simplest thing, right? Maybe you've been given a task as an intern to clean up the filing system and whatnot. Have answers and have numbers, right? We've worked on 10 files. 6 of them, we've put them on the side, and then the other 7, we're planning to complete it by Friday, but I think we'll have general feedback for you by next week, Monday. That is project management. Don't give me short answers like, yeah, we are busy with it. I want to know how far, I want to know, and that's what project management is, right? How far are you? What steps are you going to take? What is going to be implemented by Friday? When is the final feedback going to come through? If you give me 2 weeks, I will respect your 2 weeks. But I don't want to find out things moving every day, right? Instead of you saying it's 2 weeks, you're saying it's in 2 days' time. In 2 days' time, you're like, no, we've made space for 3 days' time. In 3 days' time, you're like, oh, we forgot to tell you it's next week, Wednesday. How am I going to work on my schedule as a manager or as a director if your things keep moving and maybe my exco is dependent on that information? Now I look like a bum, right? So guys, project management, project manage yourself. Project management is really important on all levels. It's important everywhere. Project management is even important at home, right? I know this from experience. I lead a team and I struggle with a lot with managing projects. Exactly. It's one of the biggest things. Guys, even at home, you have a project management system, even though it's not formal. You know what time you cook. So if hubby calls or if wifey calls or if the kids call, it's easy for you to give them an answer of saying, no, the meal will be done by 8. Because you have a project schedule for that day. You know what time you're going to gym, what time you're coming back. So there's no way I can ask you a question or your partner can ask you a question about your day and then you go, doesn't that sound like a red flag? I think there's cheating going on. So it's the same thing. When I'm asking you questions as a director or as a senior, and then you're doing, you know what it says to me? It says, or you don't understand your work. But there's something fish. You become an immediate red flag. And Otolwood, sometimes it's not that you are not working, right? It's just that you don't know how to manage yourself, but you become a red flag immediately. Why are you struggling to answer something that is your main task? Like, why are you struggling with it? Then people start talking like politicians. Person is circling around and coming back and paging through the diary and whatnot. It makes me feel like you're trying to play me as a director. As you are paging, you are hoping I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, like it because you can't find this information. That's not gonna happen. I see why it would be damaging on the company because it's not about the individual only, but the team. Thank you very much, Tammy. Because project management is when am I gonna get the information to execute my part of things so that I can pass it on to the next director and they can do their part of things and then they can pass it on to the CEO so that when he goes for that big meeting, he's prepared. But now you messed up your part because you couldn't project manage yourself. Now the CEO is going to go to a meeting and become a bum. And when that happens, because maybe the CEO is not prepared for those presentations, you know what happens? He fails to retain a 800 million rand contract for the company. You know what happens next month? He has to retrench. Because that 800 million contract, we couldn't retain it. They didn't renew it now. So now we have to retrench. Do you see how much problems you've caused? Now we are retrenching 25 people because people simply couldn't project manage themselves. And people don't even understand it. I've gone through certain rounds of retrenchments, guys, and I knew where the route started. But this person does not even see how much damage they've actually caused in us losing this big client. I remember we had a fantastic client in the company that I was working for. I was an executive director of consulting. We had a client that we had a contract with for 5 years. That client was paying all of our salaries and was paying all of our rent, right? Hi, OZM. Thank you for coming through. OZM, I forgot your ID name. I should call you with your ID name. Now I know OZM's ID name, but I forgot it now, but I will remember it, right? So we had this contract, guys, for I think it's 4 to 5 years. When I joined this company, this contract was already there. Guys, that contract was paying all of our lights, was paying all of our salaries. That means any additional contract that we had, a consulting a contract that we had, there you go, Otelia. There you are. Now I'm gonna call you Otelia. No more OZM, right? It was paying everything. Any additional contract that we had was just a bonus. That's how big that contract was. Guys, one of my consultants who couldn't manage themselves, things got lost in the system. A meeting that was supposed to happen did not happen, right? Because this person does not have a project management plan in terms of how far they were. There was feedback that he was supposed to give back. He didn't give it back. Guys, I walked into the lion's den. I will never forget that day. I went with one of my best managers. Guys, I was looking good, stunning, car clean, right? And my manager, she was an Indian lady. She came there looking stunning, Hey, Fifi, thank you for coming through, right? This girl came there looking stunning. Indian hair. Girl came in looking like a frontal. But when we walked in there and we thought we were prepared, but the information that we had was not the correct information. And when we got there and then we sat down, they just came down on us. Guys, have you ever walked into a meeting that you thought you were fully prepared for and you were confident with? And bafika baktelang ama salad, and the first thing that you thought was, what the hell just happened? I talked too much. That dad didn't have words. I was like, what the hell just happened? In my head, this project is going smoothly. They started mentioning his name. He didn't do this. He was supposed to come last week. And I'm looking at the feedback that he gave me versus what the client is expecting. Guys, lightning hit me. Fuck now. I didn't know what was going on. I could just nod as a director because I have to take that as a director. I have to take that. Hey, Hopozo, you don't know. Hopozo, you don't know. My manager was about to cry. She was about to cry. I remember that day, actually, even under the desk, I was holding her hand. She was shaking. She was shaking. Because, the people that were challenging us, guys, let me tell you something. We were not just being challenged. We were not being challenged by administrators. Guys, these guys, they brought in the board. The board. Guys, this is the biggest IT company right now. They brought in the entire board. Guys, it rained on us. Guys, it rained on us. I need you to understand that. And it was because of this one person. And that contract got cancelled. You know what I needed to do? This happened to be last week. Fifi, I'm telling you. Right? So do you know what I needed to do, guys? So the way that contract was so big, my strategic plan for the year was to replace that contract with 10 new contracts. That's how big that contract was. Guys, it's 2020 COVID. Where am I going to get 10 new contracts? It's 2020 COVID. Companies are scaling down on consultants because they want to do everything in-house to save money. Mina, I'm getting them to spend money on consulting. Do you understand the conflict that I'm sitting with there? So that's why in business we say it's easier to retain a contract than to get a new one. It's easier to just retain it. And you guys need to develop that mindset. It was simply because somebody did not project manage themselves. And that cost me a major contract. Major contract, guys. I had a beautiful presentation with no content, but got feedback early enough to fix it. Guys, yeah, that day was bad. When I took over my colleague project, stakeholders almost ate me alive. I know what you're saying, right? The handover. Guys, a handover process from somebody who does not know. Hey, you know what you're talking about, ne? I hate those surprises. I hate those surprises. And you're asking, and when a person is doing their handover, and even after they left, maybe you call them afterwards, because I always had good relationships with people even after they leave. It's easier for them to take my calls. Right? But I'm asking this person questions and they have no clue what was going on. And I'm like, how are you operating without project managing yourself? Like, guys, how? How? And that's where anxiety comes from. So you're going to blame the company that is giving you anxiety. No, you are giving you anxiety. So guys, project management is a skill, as a job within a job. You have to master it. Eunice, thank you for coming through. You have to master it, guys. Right? Guys, the third one is customer care. Consulting isn't easy. The struggle to find clients. Hey, and Ikepu, I'll tell you something, Ikepu. Funny enough, I enjoy I enjoy business development and sales in the consulting space because I now understand the science behind it. Just build the right networks, you're going to be sorted. Don't sell the product. Sell yourself as a person who can establish relationships, right? I mean, there were people that were signing up for consulting gigs for the companies that I was working for simply because it's Sbu who came here to this meeting. People would say that. They'd be like, this has nothing to do with the company that you work for, Sbu. It's just that because Kwena, Sbu, and in Sbu we trust, we will give you the deal. So in the consulting space, guys, just present yourself. Be the guy, be the thought leader, be the subject matter expert. You're going to be fine. I mean, there was a meeting where they kicked somebody out and they said, we thought Sbu was coming. And the lady said, no, Sbu is not coming. They're like, okay, fine. We will reschedule the meeting. We are happy to do this meeting only when Sbu is coming. And when I got in there, the contract was signed within the first 10 minutes. They just wanted to see me. And they wanted to be convinced that you guys said Sbu is a director in your company. We want to see for real. And I pitched and I gave them a business card. They're like, as long as Sbu is here, then we are fine. Well said, Sbu. Sell yourself, not the product. Exactly. A person is a brand. People do business with people. In the consulting space especially, but in most cases anyway, people do business with people. Interpersonal skills go hand in hand with customer care. Yes. So guys, customer care and interpersonal skills, one and the same thing. Actually, customer care is an interpersonal skill. So guys, let me tell you what I mean by this. If you are working at a bank and then you are a branch manager, and you have people that are responsible for customer care. And when your role is a strategic role, that means, and I'll give you another story, right? That means you are a person who works with ensuring that processes and systems are running within a branch. So you are not necessarily client facing. You are running a team. And you are not in customer care. If a client walks in and they are sitting by themselves, and then you are there as a branch manager, you need to have customer care skills to go to the client and find out what it is that they are waiting for. Have they been assisted? So you can't be walking around there, you are rude, you see a client is sitting there, instead of going to greet them, you go and you fetch somebody from customer care, and then now you start shouting, why is that Tlhokomele? There's a client who's sitting here, and and whatnot. When you don't come in and take care of the situation yourself, even though you're not client facing, to just greet them, and you understand what I'm saying? Happens a lot in the consulting space as well. Right? So sometimes it's not about how good you are, but about personal relationships with the other person. Exactly. It's about the personal relationships that you have with people. Personal relationships are very important. People trust in you, right? And they trust in your thought leadership. They trust in your thinking. And that becomes very important. That's why a lot of directors, they don't get brought in because they are skilled within a particular thing. Like, for example, I don't have experience in mining. But the company that I'm an executive director for, one of the companies that I'm an executive director for, they brought me in not because I know mining, because I know zero about mining, but it's because I have relationships with people within the mining sector, because I used to do a whole lot of panel discussions with them. So when I call them and I'm like, we want to meet, it's easier for them. That is the value that I bring. You understand? So sometimes it's not about how directors are not operational people. We are relationship networking people. And thought leaders and subject matter experts. That's what we are. You understand, guys? So that's what I'm telling you guys. You have to get to yourself to a point where there's a little bit of customer care. Some are just hired for nothing. Managers without customer service. I'm telling you, those are the worst. Those are the worst. I used to say to people, guys, my consultants as well, right? I'm learning a lot as a job seeker. Thank you, Sbu. No problem, Paula. There's no problem at all, right? So in the consulting space, guys, the company that we used to work for had 2 floors, right? One of the companies that I used to work for, it had 2 floors. And when you walk in, the first person you bump into is a receptionist, right? Fantastic lady, Wanoko Sosha. Fantastic. She knew her stuff when it comes to customer care. Ne? But some of my consultants would hang around there at the reception area. I get reception area is where you guys bump into each other, on a little couch and everything like that, and they sit down. They had the worst customer care. So they were good consultants. You must remember, a good consultant is not necessarily good with relationships. That's why a lot of my consultants would come back and then back to my clients. You understand? Then I have to jump in and intervene and sort that out, because a consultant is there to provide a solution, to provide you with advice, and then it's either you take it or leave it, but I'm going to invoice you to pay anyway. That's what consultants are employed for. It helps when you have customer care, but the contract that we signed is not that you should have customer care, but it's something that you need to adopt on your own, because a lot of consultants that I promoted onto management is because they could keep good relationships with clients. The other ones were just pure consultants. I'm a roughneck. They go in, they give you a solution, you take it, you leave it. It's a big fight in the boardroom. They pack their laptop and then they leave. Then it's up to us as the directors to come and sweep that mess. So those people, they used to hang out at the reception, and then a small business would come looking for consulting services. Ne? Guys, they wouldn't even greet them. They wouldn't even acknowledge them, like nothing, right? And then even the receptionist would be to them, hey, you, that's a small business. Why didn't you go and say hi and greet them and make them feel warm? In one of the business hubs that I'm currently running right now, I remember going there for the first time, and there were 3 small businesses that they were waiting for assistance from the business analyst. Guys, the way they were so nervous, you would swear they are walking into a job interview. And people are supposed to be free. They came in, they got greeted by the receptionist, they sat down. As they were sitting down, there were business advisors walking up and down, busy doing copies and all of that. These people were not even acknowledged. And I walked in and I was like, gents, how's it good? How's business going? Even they were shocked, like, okay, somebody's talking to us. No, business is going well. Oh, did COVID affect you? No, COVID didn't affect me. So. Then I joke with the other one. Hey, when you look like you have a lot of money, me 1,000 yan. Ah, my man, no. Hey, by the way, yeah, guys, I'm one of the directors. I just came to check the hub. Marale Shapo is everybody. I was doing that while everybody else was running up and down, go the copy machine, printer machine, and then even the way they call them is like, Hotlamang. Okay, again. I was like, guys, no way. Wrong culture. No, I do not want this. And then as that was happening, an SMME came, small business came, wanting to see if there are any requests for proposals or for tenders, right, from the mine. And the lady said to him, there's a notice board outside. That's the answer they got. There's a notice board outside. So basically, Pumuya ngaphandle checking notice board. I was like, I called a meeting immediately. I was like, this is not going to happen ever again. Not under my watch. It's not going to happen again ever. Not under my watch. Greet people. Don't tell them there's a notice board there. Step out and walk with them. It's not that you're busy and say, no, notice board. Do you see anything that you like? No, anyway, in 2 minutes, I'll be back. Now I'm going to see somebody else and then we can talk. I mean, guys, come on now. Customer care. You need to have customer care. Don't say, I'm an analyst. I don't need customer care. I'm an accountant. I don't need customer care. Right? I'm just a safety officer. I don't need customer care. Guys, take that and make it part of you. You'll see how quickly you're going to move within the corporate world. You're going to get loved because you're going to build great relationships. Directors are going to say this one is coming with us, right? I worked in a business hub. I have a letter of recommendations from SMMEs. I'm telling you, it's nice. I love working with small SMMEs. They are the future millionaires. Naima, you and I are in the same sector. I love the small business development sector. I love it. I love it. I love the career coaching sector as well, but I'm passionate about both. But small businesses, oh my gosh, when they call me and they're like, hey, coach, because I do business coaching. I've got another division of my business that does business coaching, So I love working with them, but I love working with you guys as professionals as well. So guys, customer care, you need to have it. You really need to have it. It's a skill that you must adopt. It's a job within a job. Right? Don't get stuck on that. Guys, I'll even tell you about some of the chartered accountants. I love chartered accountants. I love them to bits. I worked at Psycha for 3 years. But guys, they can be uptight. And you will think they're rude. But it's that they are number crunchers. They are number focused, right? So their customer care sometimes, it's questionable. It's questionable a little bit there, but I work with them. They are my clients. So I do career coaching with them. And then that's what I help them out with. So guys, if you're struggling with any of these things, go to careeremporium.co.za, book your professional coaching session with me, and let's sit down and let's help you to adopt all of these traits and these qualities. Let's do your career map, what kind of skills you need to adopt and all of that so that we can get you sorted. You can become an executive 5 years from now. Right, if you want me to sort out your LinkedIn profile, because everything starts with your LinkedIn, guys. 199, go book careeremporium.co.za. Check out their expo. I think Nasrec has an SMME expo. I would love to go there. I will check Nasrec out. I would love to go there. I'm doing a panel discussion for Sun International on Friday. There's going to be 200 SMMEs. Guys, do you understand how excited I am? Not even about the panel discussion, right? Not even about Sun International. I've already been excited with Sun International. They've given me fantastic things that we're going to be working on. I told you guys. But I'm excited more about seeing SMMEs. Just greeting them and just listening to their stories. Somebody telling me about how they lost $1 million, how somebody made $1 million and all of that. I love their stories, guys. Amazing, right? And I'm going to be forcing them to network, right? I take you to the next guy. I'm matching you guys. You two network. Go there. That's something that I enjoy doing. That's my element right there. But anyway, customer care, very important, guys. Extremely, extremely important, right? Guys, just a reminder, if you are new here, make sure that you follow me. And we would like to welcome you to the Fetch Army. We're a group of professionals that are shooting for executive positions. And we come up with practical things like what I've put on the screen here. I present, follow my moderators, guys. They are quite fantastic people. They make sure that these lives, they can push. You can join the WhatsApp group where I share, I saw Uni saying Batupele principle. I also said principle because I was reading. Yes, Batupele principle is the one, right? But I share with you guys a couple of opportunities and all of that, right? Go to LinkedIn and look for Career Emporium job alerts. Join that group. I post about 6-7 jobs a day that you can find there on LinkedIn. So go join that group as well. So yes, guys, let's go on to the next one. The last one, guys, monitoring and evaluation. So monitoring and evaluation, it's similar to project management, right? But it has a reporting aspect to it, right? So it's sort of like a tracker as well, just like project management, but it has a reporting aspect to it, right? So how do you report on things, especially the impact that you've made, right? So you should be able, right, to say, out of all of the clients that have come in, this is the impact that I've made, right? So if you're working at a bank, you should have your own monitoring and evaluation system, because you're going to use that for your interviews, guys, and then you're going to use that to actually get your promotion and get your salary increase. You have your statistics, you have a case to build. Instead of walking into the office and say, Nami, I deserve a promotion because Lerato has been promoted. Lerato stories has nothing to do with yours. Ne? The group on LinkedIn is Career Emporium. Yes, it's called Career Emporium Job Alerts. So there's two. There's a Career Emporium page that you can follow, but there's a group called Career Emporium Job Alerts. So you must join that one, right? Account management role is impacted by monitoring and evaluation. I'm telling you guys, you need to have your own statistics. Guys, do you want to get promoted? Do you want to get an increase? Do you want statistics? If you're working at a bank, you must have your own impact measures, your own monitoring and evaluation. Make a list of bank accounts that you've opened. Number one. Number two, make a list of people that have kept their bank accounts for a period of 12 months, right? Your own statistics. So you must be in touch with your clients every now and then, right? For 12 months. Make a list of people that opened up an additional bank account after you've opened it up for them. That's your monitoring and evaluation, right? And then also make a list of people that came and left with a smile when you are there. Guys, collect those statistics. That is information you use at an interview. That's an information that you use to back up your job promotion, and then you back up for your job increase. That is your own monitoring and evaluation. That is your moment of glory right there. Remember what I said, guys. I said, guys, you all need a moment of glory. If the company can't give you one, you need to create one for yourself. So do your own monitoring and evaluation, do your own impact assessment. That's what I used to do with all of my clients. All of us, we're doing consulting. We were going out there helping small businesses, helping big businesses, right? But I would always say to my client, can you give me a testimonial? Or can you complete this spreadsheet for me? It's not a company spreadsheet, it's a smooth spreadsheet. So that I have proof when I'm negotiating moving up. And I also share that on LinkedIn. I would share that on LinkedIn and say, hey, this month, I've seen so many clients, and then, 60% of them, the business process is improved, and that I would put all of that information out there so that I can get myself headhunted, right? So that's it, guys. That's a strategic way of looking for work on LinkedIn without showing that you are looking for work. Post your success stories, right? But post it in a form of content. Don't just say, hey, I was successful in opening 10 bank accounts, right? Make it a post. This month, I was successful in opening up 5 bank accounts. I'm so excited because these bank accounts are going to be saving our small businesses, a whole lot of money due to their monthly fees, especially now that we understand that climate requires small businesses, to grow and be supported. Do you see what you're doing there? There, you are basically saying, headhunt me, look for me. I'm the guy. You are flexing just a little bit, but you're also not putting it out too much to say I'm looking for a job, right? So it's not like your managers are going to see what's going on, right? You must be a trickster when it comes to these things. But it comes from your monitoring and evaluation. And when you tell your moment of glory in an interview, I need you guys don't be boring in job interviews. I just attended 3 boring interviews, guys. I just attended 3 of the most boring job interviews. I was sleeping. I was dozing off. When it came to the 3rd one, I actually told the managers to take care of it. I just hung up on Teams. I acted like network is acting up. I was gone. I was not gonna sit in the 3rd interview. Boring. No moment of glory. This is exciting. The moment of glory. That's what I'm talking about, Fifi. Everybody needs a moment of glory, and that moment of glory, guys, I'm telling you, when you get into when you get into an interview, it's an icing on the cake. Because only you can tell your moment of glory, right? You might have 10 answers that sound like the answers from the previous candidate, because you maybe all answer the same, the questions the same way. How do you handle conflict? You all sound the same. Why do you want to work for us? You all sound the same. But where you talk about the moment of glory, where they said, tell us about some of your achievements, your moment of glory will never be the same as another person's. That's what differentiates you. That is what differentiates you, right? Moment of glory, how? If I'm asked things I don't know about, I don't know what you're talking about, user. Give me more information. Who's asking you about things you don't know about. I hope it's not the people at the interview, because either you are at the wrong interview or the people interviewing you are at the wrong interview. Somewhere there, right? But if you're in an interview room and they're asking you things you don't know about, hey, I don't know, it's not make sure. I don't know, But guys, moment of glory, critical, right? So it comes from your monitoring and evaluation. Have your own statistics. Have your own statistics. If you haven't had one, how can you guide us? That's what I'm talking about, Beverly. That's what I'm talking about. You need to go and create your moment of glory. Some of you guys, it's not that you don't have moment of glories, it's that it hasn't been recorded. You haven't recorded your moment of glory. Like, I listened to some of the moments of glories that I missed, where I meet somebody who I consulted with 4 years ago or 5 years ago or even 6 years ago, and then we're sitting and they're like, yo, Pelasbu, I remember that day when you came to our office to give us our consulting strategies. Yo, our CEO was so excited. And I'm like, dude, you're only telling me now. But it's my fault, right? Because had I came up with my own monitoring and evaluation system, I was going to get feedback from my clients every time. But in my head, I was like, the company does not have a feedback system, so I don't have to worry about the feedback system. But I should have done it for me. I really should have done it for me. So you guys have moment of glory stories, just that you haven't recorded them, you haven't captured them. And that means you are lacking at number 4. You don't have your own monitoring and evaluation system. How do you monitor your career success and your career impact? You have to collect those statistics yourself. So go speak to your clients. If you are client facing, go speak to your clients. Right? If you work with other departments, I remember, guys, and then this is another story. Guys, when I was negotiating for my promotion to senior manager in one of the companies I was working for, I came to them and I said to them, listen here, out of everybody, because the CEO had just given a speech about collaboration, right? This company was big. I don't know how many departments we had, right? And then the CEO was talking about the importance of collaboration within departments, because that's how we grow the organization. Guys, I went through my monitoring and evaluation system, and then that's when I picked up that I was the person who was networking the most and making the most impact when it comes to interacting with other departments. Guys, that was my moment of glory. I went to Julius. I said, Julius, can you just write me something, to show that I've been collaborating with your department? We've already attended 4 meetings together. Smooth, no problem. I went to the other guy, in the members department, and I said, listen, you remember I came in at your members event on Thursday. And then you guys didn't expect me to come, but I was there. And the person was like, yes, we remember. I was like, can you write me something to show that I was there? Guys, I became excited. I collected and I came up with 10 collaborations. And I was like, Naindaba again. Statistics. Me, I should be a manager. I'm better than any of your managers. They gave it to me easily. They asked me about data analysis. I didn't know what to say. I thought it's a new English word. Guys, anfundi. Rapsteak langkwatiza. Anifundi, guys. Langkwatiza. I guess that's why I'm telling you guys, come to webinars. Guys, I put webinars in the WhatsApp group. Come to webinars, guys. Come listen to people speak. Otherwise, the squad will dribble you. The squad will dribble you, guys. So yeah, guys, monitoring and evaluation, that's what I'm speaking about. Go look for your moment of glory. Go collect your own statistics. Guys, these 4 things that I'm telling you, all of them, it's a level of independence, right? You don't wait for the company to give you these things. Go sort it out on your own. That's why we're saying personal development goes hand in hand with professional development. Professional development is not just MBAs and degrees and certificates. There's a level of personal development. Teach yourself to become independent and master these 4 jobs within your job. It might not be sitting in your contract. It might not be sitting in your KPI, right? It might not be sitting in your job description, but you need these things if you're going to show that you are ready for the next level. If you're going to put yourself in a position to go on to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? You need these. This is what you need to teach yourself. Very important, very critical, right? Yes, guys, let's double tap to 20K likes, right? So that's what I need you guys to learn. Go learn these things yourself. Guys, please don't be dull employees. Ne? Don't be dull employees. There, you see, Ikepeli Mnyama is doing some networking there. Right? Guys, that's what I want from the FH Army. I'm liking what Ukepeli Mnyama is doing. Norab Stake. Already, they are networking. Guys, this is what I call professional networking. Look at the Fetch Army guy trying to help our Fetch Army sister. You see, guys, this is what I expect from you. But guys, please do me a favor. Don't be dull employees. Right? And if you are a dull employee, it's okay. You can still change. Don't get offended. Just own that you are a dull employee and say something needs to be done with it. Guys, a dull employee is that employee, man. You know that employee that only does work. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but all they do is work. Right? There's nothing shiny. There's no sparkles. There's no zest. There's no life. You understand what I'm saying? That's a dull employee, guys. Don't be a dull employee. Like a dull employee only gets an inflationary increase every year. And don't be satisfied with being a dull employee because you can afford a BMW and a big house and all of that. It's not about that. I need as well info and data analysis. Thanks, guys. Reach out. There's Beverly's joining the networking. So, guys, don't be a dull employee. If you're a dull employee, it's fine, guys. Confess now. Ne? And it's okay. I think we need to have hard conversations with ourselves. So if you are a dull employee, just say, I'm a dull employee. Because at least there's something that you can do about it. So it's not you are a dull employee, life is over, right? If you're a dull employee, it's okay. But acknowledge the disability, and like, I don't want to be a dull employee. There you go. You see, Gottlieb, it's a tough conversation you need to have with yourself. Because only once you confess that I'm a dull employee, then you can say, I can't. I must have moments of glory. Right? I must have, I must project manage myself. I must constantly get involved in things and be a mover and shaker, and my name must start floating around. You understand? So it's okay to be a dull employee. But now, at least, Gottlieb, you know what needs to be done. Go check out the rest of the masterclasses on YouTube, guys. A lot of things that are there will also help you to get out of being a dull employee. Because I want you guys to really move on to the next level. I'm a dull employee, but not for long. Thank you, Umpe. It's good to acknowledge it. Guys, the moment you acknowledge it is the moment you want to do something about it. Right? And now you understand. We are here to support all of you guys here. The entire Fetch Army is behind everybody. This is a safe space. That's why people here, you guys look at comments, maybe sometimes you get shocked like, why are people confessing that they ran out of English bundles and all of that? We are a safe space here as the Fetch Army. We laugh about things because we know we can fix them. So that's why when you say I'm a dull employee here, there's no judgment and laughing at you like, oh, dull employee this. If you're that kind of person, you don't belong to the Fetch Army. But here we write our sad stories. We laugh about our meetings that went wrong. We laugh about our interviews that went wrong and all of that because we know we can fix it. We're an army, and an army is close-knit. Nobody gets judged. Nobody gets judged here, right? So it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. I'm a dull employee. However, from today, I'm going to change. Ronnie, let's go. Ronnie, let's go. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go, Ronnie. It's called Career Emporium. So go look. You see the logo on top, then the name Career Emporium. That is the YouTube channel. Thank you, Nanali, and everybody for the gifts and the roses. I've been seeing gifts and roses. I haven't been able to say thanks, right? I love this session. I think I'm closer being in management role. These characteristics I master. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shumi. Thank you, Refilwe. Thank you, everybody. Lidi blessa tsaka. Nama blessa la. Yes, Kopotso is 100% correct. So guys, think about it. Ishbu, the chest pain I get when I miss these moments breaks my spirit. Shame. I know, Mikey. And those tough conversations are good for all of us, guys. They are good for all of us, right? So, Mikey, guys, if you miss the master classes, go onto YouTube, catch up with them, guys. You'll constantly hear my voice. As you're cooking, played in the background. As you're driving, played in your headphones, because at least you don't need to watch the screen. I deliberately did it like this so that my face is not on the screen. Then it's distracting, right? So I said, why is his mustache not straight? What's going on with the beard? But when it's like this, at least you can focus on the conversation. But guys, we are going to beat this whole thing of being dull employees with practical steps. So I'm not feeding you guys motivation. Hey, you can do it. Hey. Amandla, Pambili. Yeah, that's not what I do. I give you practical steps and say, listen here, these are certain things that we need to work on. These are the biggest things we need to work on, right? Your biggest strength, you engage with us by saying our names, and that makes it special. Thank you so much. It's because I already know you guys. You guys are the Fetch Army. I know you guys, right? I know you guys by name, some by government names as well. And those who have booked their sessions and they had funny names here, I now know your government names as well, right? So I will even make it special and call you by that. 1, 2, and 4 are my weekend project. Come Monday, I'll be cruising nicely. Thank you so much, Edward. I like that. I like that you will be cruising nicely. So guys, let's work on these things. Let's work on these things, guys. We can come up with the changes. Guys, there's nothing wrong with not being where you should be. I think a lot of people, they panic. I've learned the hard way, but I'm good now. Hey, I'm telling you, Sherio, so a lot of people panic. It's like the moment, and this is what I want you guys to get out of, right, as I'm preparing you for executive positions. For example, let's make an example about being a dull employee. So at the moment I say some of you guys are dull employees, you know what people do? Some people shut down, right? They shut down. It's an attack. It's an offense. It's all of that. Guys, if you are in that kind of mindset, there's a lot that you need to work on, right? Because you need that. You need somebody to say you suck at this, right? But somebody's going to say, but there are solutions for it. Let's go. So that it becomes an easier moment for you. But a lot of people, they shut down. Right? Oh, I'm a dull employee. My life is over. Oh, I wasted time. And then you start playing these things in your head. Why did I become like this? If it wasn't for that boss, I hate my life. Man, how can I? I'm done. I give up. You know what? Let's just walk with life the way it is. Don't be that kind of person, right? You guys are the Fetch Army. The army fights. The army fights. We're like, no, guys. Time has not been wasted. Time has not been wasted. Like this, Nano Mabatini. Guys, I still have 5 years. I still have 10 years in me. And in that 5-10 years, something can change. Something can change, guys. Guys, in a year, in only 1 year, in 12 months, you know how many things can change if you are dedicated to yourself. And you are learning all of these skills and then you are applying them. A lot can change. So guys, don't shut down when you're having these tough conversations with yourself. Some people are scared to face themselves as well. There are some people here that don't even want to answer whether I'm a dull employee or not. They're like, I don't want my brain to go there. Because if my brain goes there, I'm just going to shut down, right? Guys, open yourself up to those kind of conversations. I would rather you be criticized by yourself and me, the general of the Fetch Army and the best career coach in the planet, right? I would rather you get criticized by me and you than the world outside. So by the time they say to you, you're a dull employee, like I already know, and I'm already fixing it. So it doesn't matter. You don't offend me. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So I would rather you get it from me, knowing that I will put resources in place for you to get there. I will do it for you. I will sort you out, right? I've learned from you to pay attention to title details. When you notice I've put up profile pic, there you go. There you go. Afternoon, family. Sorry for being late. I just came from CBE webinar. Yes, wena bathobile. Get them, Kadi webinars. Guys, if you are late because you went to a webinar, you are excused. But if you are late because you were gossiping in the kitchen, 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups. That's what the army does. You shall get punished, right? So, guys, I would rather you get criticism from me because you know it's coming from a good place. You guys have been with me long enough to know that I'm not a vindictive person who will come here. And somebody came to this live and said, you must be careful about how you speak about things and how you speak to people, because some people are already depressed and then you're going to push us, over the edge. I was like, yo, are you new here? Because my army, they know I'm tough on them, but love them to death, because I will criticize them, but every day at 2 o'clock, I show up for them in terms of how we can fix ourselves. Right. So I think I have a right to criticize you because I constantly have things that can help you. Right. My ops manager once said, I'm the weakest link in the team. Coach, 7 years later, I think you understand when Rabelani. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? You will get called all of those things. Weakest link, and let me tell you something, ne? Sometimes people are right. That's what we hate. When somebody says, "Oh, this one is the weakest employee," this is what it is. Sometimes they are right, guys, and a lot of us can't take it. We can't take it, but you gotta ask yourself and like, okay, I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at the space that I'm in. Yeah, no, I'm definitely, I'm not up there. I am not up there, and it's not because you're stupid, né, guys. It's not because you are slow. It's not because your brain is fast. You just haven't had time to work on those things, and now you know. You need time to work on them, so go fix them, go change them. Then you sort it, right? It's not a disability that you were born with. It's things that you can change, you can influence, you can move them around. So that's why, guys, sometimes I have to give it to you tough. Guys, for those who are new, we are the Fetch Army. We're a group of professionals that are fetching executive positions, and we are an army. Like Refilo said, we are not called an army for nothing. We are called an army because, guys, we are building thick skins, right? And it's okay, guys. You can cry in the car. You can cry in the bathroom every now and then. But do me a favor. When you're done, wipe those tears, chest out, head up, and go and fetch. Right? And just remember, wherever you go, guys, you are working with the whole entire Fetch Army. The whole entire Fetch Army. You understand? Yeah, they don't call us an army for nothing. Guys, I deliberately called us the Fetch Army. I didn't say the Fetch Squad or the Fetch Group or the Fetch Clique or the Fetch Clan. I said we are the Fetch Army because, guys, we understand it's war out there. And we're going to have to work together, all of us. That's why I want you guys to still network. I will force this every day, right? So that all of us can help each other to go into this corporate jungle and be tactical and work together. That's why I have all of these resources for you. So one last time, go check out the YouTube channel. It's called Career Emporium, just like the name and the logo on top. And go catch up on old masterclasses. Go on to LinkedIn. There are 2 different pages. You're going to get the Career Emporium company page. There you get the blog articles. Then there's a group called Career Emporium Job Alerts, right? They both look the same. They have the same logo. Join that one. I post jobs there. There's a LinkedIn group, WhatsApp group you can join where I will be sharing webinars and etc. with you. Guys, for those who don't know, the reason why I share webinars, it's not because of the topic of the webinar. Do you understand? It's because I want you guys to listen to how leaders speak. So even if you're not interested, if I send a webinar and it's about logistics and you're not in the logistics sector, trust me, trust the general. Go sit in that. You're going to walk out with something. Listening to people speak about industry, how they conduct themselves, how they deal with the nerves and everything. Guys, you're going to come up with something. Just sit and listen to the webinar. It doesn't cost you anything, right? Free. That's why I send it. Are we international with our strategic planning in our respective career paths? You see, guys, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing, right? So, guys, I have to close this off. And then you guys know how we close it off, right? If you're not following me, follow me right now so that you can be part of the Fetch Army. So I need somebody to start the train so that I can give everybody their shout outs. And thank you for 25K likes. There you go. Okti has started the train, guys. Let's go. Put Fetch Army in the comments while I give everybody shout outs. And guys, when I give you shout outs, I give you shout outs, right? You know. Khopotso, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. And thank you for the gifts. And thank you for sharing everybody to get us to 25K likes. Khopotso, I really appreciate you. Shumi Shumza, my friend, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. Shumi is my Chivenda tutor as well. Thursday, tomorrow, we are doing a session. Nanalis Kim Samse Kazi, thank you for coming through. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Batobi Ile, the queen of the moderators, thank you for coming through. You make these lives happen, and I really appreciate you. Kumbu 37, I see you. Untatile, I see you. Naima, I see you. Calvin, I see you. Calvin, I'll sort you out. We'll sort something out for Monday. Beverly, thank you for coming through and interacting. Nobu, I see you. Edward, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. Mikey M, thank you for coming through. Miss Pinkberry, thank you for coming through. Zinzila, I see you. It's Tammy, thank you for coming through. And I think you were the first to greet me today. Thank you so much. Noni, thank you for coming through. Zintle6, thank you for coming through. Ikepeli Mnyama, thank you for interacting, my brother. And thank you for coming through. Tendo, I see you. Lebo, I see you. BK, I see you. Ituzezo, I see you. Naledi, thank you for coming through. Randy, I see you. Kelsey, I see you. Ronnie, I see you. Cherio, I see you, and thank you for interacting. User 281, I see you. User 130, I see you. Godlib B, I'm so proud of you for taking steps, acknowledging what needs to change. I'm really proud of you. Eunice, thank you for coming through, my friend. I see you a lot these days. Thank you for coming through. Mbizo, I see you. Smeme, I see you. User 75, I see you. Rabelani, ID, I see you. Justino, I see you. Ntombi, thank you for coming through. Tsatsi, thank you for coming through. Khonzi, thank you for coming through. Nobile, I see you. Thank you for coming through. User 16, I see you. Lost Boy, thank you for coming through. Aussie091, I see you. Unati, thank you for coming through. Zuki, I see you. Blossom, I see you. Lindoguhle, I see you. Thank you for coming through. User 80, I see you. User 96, I see you. Obo user, please change your names. I want to give you guys proper shout outs, right? Katleho Emela, I see you. JR Legendary, I see you. Zanele Kaba, I see you. Malitsela Kladi, I see you. Maureen, I see you. Minentle, that's a nice name. I see you. Kari S, I see you. Zbosh, I see you. Is Bosch the other moderator from the other life? But I see you, Zbosh. Thank you for coming through. A dose of Lerato, I see you. Lady X, I see you. Tandega, I see you. Ino, I see you. Mutsamai, I see you. Guguletu, thank you for coming through. Gizel, I see you. Promise Muhlodi, I see you. Thank you for coming through. No Name, I see you. No Name, interesting. Umpe, I see you, and thank you for interacting. And Kaboni Na, thank you for coming through. Guys, I really appreciate you. I didn't know. Oh, Fifi Marcela, thank you for coming through. Guys, sometimes TikTok does me wrong, and then I don't see all of the name. But Fifi, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. Fifi, we need to book your session. I sent you an email. So yeah, perfect. I take calls most of the time at work, and I recognize numbers calling, and I call clients by their names. I like that, Be Wise, I see you. Guys, let me know if I missed you in the comments before we close, so that, guys, I go by the list that TikTok is giving me. So if I miss your name, it's not because I'm hating or anything like that. Yesterday, I forgot Batobile. Imagine forgetting Batobile. That is such a crime. Yolanda Shungane, I see you. Thank you for coming through. Edward says, you guys see me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Edward. So guys, I've gone through the list. If I missed your name, like I said, guys, it's not because I'm beefing, but I appreciate all of you guys, and thank you for coming through. And guys, please, wherever you go, I want you to remember that you guys are the Fetch Army. King D, I see you. Nanali, I saw you a long time ago. When you don't listen, I don't know what you're doing today. You are busy working while I'm giving shout outs there. As Nanali, you were the third person that I acknowledged. But guys, thank you so much for coming through. I need to jump off. I got another meeting now. I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for another masterclass. And guys, remember, wherever you go, you guys are the Fetch Army. I love you guys to death. Mwah, 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 mwah.